And now we will present to you another episode of our Fall Back into Harmony special, featuring Old Guitkit himself, which happens to be me. Thank you for coming. Peace be with you. That happens to be my trademark catchphrase. Peace be with you. Right? Peace be with you. Sometimes I give the peace sign, other times I'd rather not. So, if I change it, come guys. I think soon I'll be a woman. Anyway, here we go. This is a early weird top Silvertone, man. I say weird top because it's got a weird top, man. See that, man? These are like some of the earliest Silvertones manufactured by our friends in Harmony. Now, before they used Silvertone really to identify radios, Sears, you know what I'm saying? And people stopped buying radios, started buying TVs. Like, I don't need no radio no more. I can watch that stuff. So they's like, we have a lot of trademarks, you know what I mean? Let's start, you know what I mean, branding other stuff, you know what I mean, if we could sell it, you know? Hey, man. So Harmony started making Silvertone guitars in the mid-50s, and this is one of the first examples. Now, I spoke about a couple months ago an instance when I bought a whole bunch of these husk instruments for $5 a piece in the swap meet. And, yeah, this is one of them, definitely, man. This is definitely one of them, without a doubt. And I'm glad to have it. I'm proud to have it. But it's in really poor condition. Very poor condition. The next time we meet, we're going to look at the third one, because I grabbed 3 instruments that day, and it also was made by Harmony. Also meaning as well. We're missing the bridge, which is one of these long bridges, which I really, you know what I mean. It's missing this. It's missing a lot of braces. Fucked up. Finish feels like it's bad, but it actually, I think we can get this guy polished up again, looking nice. The front is detached, the back is detached. It's got like a hangman's wire on it. The guitar tried to kill itself, people. It's a suicidal instrument. It's got tendencies. We're going to rehabilitate it. And it's going to feel good again. It's going to be happy. It's going to have blue skies. Right. Peace be with you on the slab. Together. 1, 2, 3. This is one of the first Silvertone 929 type guitars made by Harmony. And it's really fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz. Yes. Sears Playware. Silverton. This is like, you know what I mean? I find you guilty. You will hang. I'm missing some braces in here. I'm missing all kinds of. This back's about to come off. I think we're gonna have to take the back off in order to get the braces back in there. Yeah, we're gonna need some braces. Let me brace a couple got on my left. Only a couple of them, man. So, got our work cut out for us. It's pretty poor condition, but you can see that the finish is still there. The lacquer's still there. Technically, I mean, it's really, you know what I'm saying, not that bad. But it is kind of like very, very bad. Could be worse, though. The neck is very strongly attached, it feels like, to whatever's left of that center block. So let's go into the laboratory and start trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to do. Take off this hanger. You know what I mean? It's like part of course, man. Hey! Get away from my hole. I told you. Hole. See you in the laboratory. So welcome back to the laboratory. Look at this, man. This thing looks okay, but then you look at it and it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay at all. I ain't feeling so good. I'm fucked up, right? So this is the first part of two, man. Fall back in a Harmony. Back's even worse than the front. I'm super fucked up here, man. Oh, fuck. Right? So, what we're going to have to do to get this guy all rolling, because we see inside here, what are you looking inside myself for? There's all kinds of chaos going on. Hardly any braces left. We got all kinds of braces though. We first want to sort of glue everything back together before we put the braces. I know that's kind of backwards, but we got to get this thing right, you know. So the first thing we want to do, this might be wrong, but this is the right way according to me. We're going to run a little blade, or this is pretty much just connected right here. Run a little blade underneath that and unconnect the back, man. Get me free at last. Right? I can't bear it anymore. I'm just playing with it. It might come on. Right? Let's get this guy, you know what I mean, unbacked. Get my back off me. I'll see you there. It's unlidded, man. The only brace that was disconnected belongs here, you can tell. Because the footprint, man, we can tell exactly where, you know what I mean, it came from. This guy was still intact, but all the braces here are missing, man. This guy's coming off. Flapping in the breeze, man. So I think the first thing that we need to do is glue this guy back down. Right? Because it's still here. And after we glue the front, you know, on correctly, what we'll do is we will slide some braces in here, right? And then we'll put braces on the back. We'll glue the back on, because we can trim the back, because there is no, you know what I'm saying, line or fake binding on there. But the front, we got this fake binding line. So we have to try to make that as perfect as possible, or we're going to have to, you know, shave off little edges and stuff, like where there's paint, and then we have to repaint it and shellac it and lacquer it, or where the fuck, man. We're going to try our best to just, you know what I mean, relid this guy, and then put the accoutrements back on where they need to be. So let's glue this guy down, you know, so we don't have to take him all the way off. He's pretty tight down here, right? We'll put a little clamp in there, man. Right. I'll see you after that's been solidified, my friends, my friendly friends. All right, so we got it all clamped out. Got a little plastic clamp hanging out the back here, just to, you know what I'm saying? We have this popsicle stick to give the clamp a little bit more surface area. Little that it does. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it down. I notice here, you can make out the 605 stamp a little bit. If you really study, you can see the whole stamp. It's interesting how they stamp the early Silvertones on the top, as opposed to on the bottom by the neck joint, man. That's weird, man. Or back, as we should say. So let's let this dry, man. Let it dry out like an alcoholic after Christmas time, right? I'll see it that point. Alright, so it's been a good, I don't know, 15, 16 hours. It's definitely dry. We got this stuff protecting it. You see these little rags down here protecting it. Let's unclarp it, right? And then we'll get to the next step. See you then. There we go, man. No new scratches on the front, because of that little trick we did with the rags there on the clamps, man. I'm a real fucking talented motherfucker. What can I say? So I'm going to put a pipe clamp across this guy, right? Like so, like right in the fucking waist. And then just even this guy up and glue the top back on. It looks like it should go right on. Once we push that in, just at that one point. I don't see any other points that I got to push in at this point. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to clamp the front up. This might be a little easier than I thought. That's good, because next week's a real doozaroo. See in a moment. And we're all clamped. Yeah, clomper. And here it is, man. All clamped up. We started off with a pipe clamp around the waist. Just this part right here. There's the clamp, right? Then when you went around, you know, with clamp by clamp, you know, this part all the way up in the back here. And by the time we got to this one, everything was pretty much even. This clamp just kind of came off, you know what I mean? And it was starting to get a little pushed in here, which is good, because as soon as it came out, the side came back out again, and everything's like totally even. Feels even, Steven, anyway. Wipe it off real good. Wet rag. Let's let it set here. Let it set overnight. I don't know, 20 hours, a day, something like that. I don't want to be too precise. See you there. Alright, so it's the next date. Let's take off these clamps. See what God hath wrought. Here we go, man. Unclamped. We did a great job. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I mean, it's perfect. I don't feel any overhangs, underhangs, nothing. Feels like it's pretty much perfect. I mean, the wood gets a little tiny bit wavy back here. This part. But that's just the wood, you know what I mean? It's still down as far as it can go. It's nice, man. Good job. So, next thing we're going to handle is this thing, man. We want to get rid of him. So he's kind of like a little bit... He's a little impetuous. Igor, you're a little too impetuous, boy. And we can see here... If we look closely, man. See that crack? It's pretty pronounced. I pronounce you. Crack and crack. Let me turn off the flash, man. See? Oh, now you know. With the flash, you can't see nothing, but now you see. You know, so we're going to, like, jerk it around a little bit, open it up, and get all kinds of glue in there. You know what I'm saying? Because the fretboard's attached to a piece of wood, so this is a major structural thing. There are two ways we can do it. You know, we can glue it and sort of put the, you know what I mean, rib in there, you know what I mean, at the same time. Or we can glue it straight first, then we could put some braces, you know, most of the primary brace and a couple other auxiliary braces to heal the crack, you know what I'm saying? But what I want to do is to just close the crack up first. And then we'll put the braces on it. Now, I noticed that when you have it like this, it's ajar. It's open, but if you put a little bit of, put it up here, like this, and put a little weight here, it automatically closes real tight. You know, so we'll put a little bit of weight right here. I mean, as flat as it comes, you know, as flat as a board. We won't clamp it at all. We'll just close up the crack that way, right? So I'll see when we're all glued up. You know what I'm saying, Charles? We want to get all glued up. We want to close up the gap. Close up the generational gap. You know what I'm saying? So we have like a damn near perfect clamp. Just stay away from it for a good 4 or 5 hours, right? I mean, it's like totally together. You know what I'm saying? Let me take the flash on so you can see it. Looks a lot less, you know what I mean? Blaring in that natural light. So, let's let this set a couple hours. Just not touch it. You know what I'm saying? Let nature take its course. We want to do this. That way, if we mess up, you know, in the set of the top, you know what I mean, of the guitar, the set of that crack, while we're doing the brace in the back, then there's nothing we can do. This way, if we mess this up, we can, you know what I'm saying? We can fix it before we put the brace on. Otherwise, this will hold steady like this as we brace it and make it more permanent. That's the right way to do it, folks. So let's let this dry. We'll come back on the other side. All right, so it's been about 24 hours. Looks good. Let's take the clamp off and see how we turn. All right, so that's more or less okay. Seems like it's a nice strong bond. It seems like the wood, nothing's moving around anymore. It's good. So we're going to put a little bit more support on this crack from behind here. Not just the braces like I was saying before. I have a piece of scrap wood right here. We're going to put it right in the middle and glue it down nice and strong. Clamp it down there so it's nice and strong. See when we're all clamped in a strong manner. Right? A little extra support. Because, you know what I mean? We're going to have a lot of tension with the strings on the wood, and we don't want to fuck anything up. Let's see after we're clamped. Alright, so we got a clamp down right in the middle of that crack. We stayed away from where the brace goes. So that's good, man. Progress, right? So let's let this clamp overnight, and then I'll see you at that pernt. Right? Alright, so it's been one date. Almost one date completely, man. Let's unclamp this guy. Let's unhinge it and continue on with our journey. Here it is, man. It's on there nice and tight. It's a nice reinforcement. So let's talk about our ribs, man. I like chicken and ribs, you know what I'm saying? I have everything laid out over here in our magical kingdom. Some of these ribs were from a pack I just bought. And some of these ribs were from, we did a Regal instrument. I call it my Regal Beagle, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, 3, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that, man. And I have a whole bunch of ribs because I had like maybe 2 or 3 different packs of ribs I bought for that. So this is the like miscellaneous ribs that I'm going to try to use, man. What we got to do is we got to find a rib that like sort of matches up. There are thin ones like this one, and there are thick ones like this one. You know, so this is also another thick one. You know what I mean? They're about the same thickness. These are the thick ones. These are the thin ones. So we'll take like a thin one, for example, and we'll go back over to our journey over here. And we'll say, oh, where does this guy go? He could go there, right? But he's a little bit too small, just by a hair. So maybe if we cut him down, we can like wedge him in here. Right? We can cut him down and wedge him in, man. That's what we're going to do, man. We're going to start from here and just sort of work our way back, one at a time. Once at a time, my friend. So see you once we're here. And then I'll give you like quick, like little vignettes, as they say. See you in a moment. So there's rib number 1. Rib number 2. Rib number 3. And rib number 4 right there. Also put a couple of these little clamps on to keep the pervin up, man. Pervin's getting a little loose, man. Your pervin's getting loose there, Purvis. You see we got this guy tucked in the end there. We kind of tucked them all in there to somewhat of a degree, you know what I mean? We use this little old Mr. Miyagi like carving kit, man. Like the 50s, man. Mr. Miyagi himself made this kit. I hid this in my wall and Danielson found it, right? All my secret treasure I give to you, Danielson. So we'll let this dry, right? Let it dry out there, son. Then we're going to work on this old girl. See how these don't match, though? Because these are the, you know what I'm saying? They're sort of like, these are something we're going to see through the hole. And these look like they're brand spanking new, and these look like they're brand spanking old. So what we're going to do is we're just take a tea bag. We're just going to paint these with a tea bag, man. And then we might have to use a little bit of acrylic paint to darken them if that's not good enough. So see after we've been tea bagged and unclamped, man. 2 things at once, man. Can you handle it? Can you handle it? See you in a moment. All right, so we're unclamped. This thing's real solid now. Just tap it on it. You feel it's just like a solid piece. We've made no additional marks to the front. Everything was already there. So that it's like really like it's coming smashingly, man. It's coming so smashingly. So what I want to do here, I want to take a little piece of wood and just sort of seal the dill on this guy. I got a piece of popsicle stick here. We're going to cut a little tiny guy and clamp him on there. Also talked about those 2 ribs, right? Right here that we treated for back here because they're going to be visible, right? On the back of the guitar. So we put some tea bag in some water, let it seep for, I don't know, 25 minutes, and then we gave a couple coats, I think 2, 3 coats. Yeah, it's darker than it was, right? It's definitely not authentic dark, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Johnny Dark, man. It's just like nonsense dark, you know what I mean? Not good enough, man. So let's get inauthentic, man. Let's use a little bit of white, a little bit of black, and a little bit of brown. Let's get a bowl of water, 1 drop of this, 1 drop of this, and like half a drop of this. And just brush that on there with this thick bristle brush. Let it dry. Maybe put 2 coats on. We want to get like a gray thing going, man. You know what I'm saying? A little gray. A little grayed out, man. Ready? So I got 2 things to do. This and this, man. I don't mean to overburden you. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. There we go, man. We got a little clamp on it. Nice bed of glue. Let that set for a while. See, this is all going to be hidden. You know, we're not going to see any of this stuff. But on this side, you know, this particular area is like all eyes on me, right? So we want to kind of try to make it look authentic. So this is the consistency that we mix it up to, right? kind of like a, you know what I mean? Like that much, you know what I'm saying? That color, right? And we just finished painting them. I think we have an authentic look here. I think that, you know what I mean, if they dry at this tone, you know what I mean, it's like perfect. You know, that's absolutely, you know what I mean, genuine. Looks like the genuine article, you know what I'm saying? But they don't always sort of dry at what, you know what I mean, you paint them. So let's give it, you know, I don't know, overnight. Let's see what it looks like tomorrow morning. Maybe we might have to put another coat of this on. So we'll leave this guy just ready to rock and roll. We won't dispose of him yet, right? This guy we can dispose of, man. Put it in our fucking hot water for tomorrow morning and suffer the consequences of old tea, man. I'll see you tomorrow. See how it dries, what shade it is. All right. So it's the next date. Oh, yeah, that's definitely nice and solid, like a rock, man. Nice, man. Let's talk about the backing, man. The backing time, man. And the braces look to be, you know what I mean, satisfactory. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we need to recoat them of any importance. That one looks like it's, you know, if we cut it down, decorate it just so naughty, I guess everybody will still think that you have your manhood. Not bad, you know what I mean? Looks good enough. Look at my drink, man. That's octopus ink, man. Dry it out, man. You smoke it, man. You fucked up, bro. So before we get all glue happy on this, look at this, man. Look at this, man. It dripped right down my leg, and then she left. Took my wallet, bro. Fuck, man. Somebody did the old, let's drizzle a little bit of wood glue down the fucking hole so we can try to get that brace that's all shaky back in action. It's all fucked up. You can't ever really do it that way. But we're going to try to do that next month, next week, next time we see each other. Right? We could even left like all kinds of glue in here too, man. See that, man? Glue everywhere just because of that. You know what I mean? Abortive fucking thing, man. But before we fuck around with that bullshit, we gotta attend to this, man. Look at this fucking crack here, man. That goes all the way from Tennessee to Ohio. It's a big nasty crack. There's like a minor crack here. It's not like, you know, it's a minor, man. The man act, bro. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of open this up a little bit, man. Stretch the wood. We're going to get a little bit of wood glue, man. I'm not going to show you the brand until I get the sponsorship, bro. And then we're going to just try to, you know what I mean, squish it together so it sets. And after it sets, man, then we're going to start gluing these fucking things on. So let's get it all glued up, and I'll see you at that fucking print, man. Look at my crack. If I open it up for you, you can see inside. But it'll be 25 cents a look. All right, so we got it glued shut. Lots of glue pumped in there. It was a real deep crack. It went all the way through the wood. So we had to actually take off that brace that was hanging on for dear life over here on the other side, so we could lay it flat because it was curved, and there was no way we'd close that crack without flattening it out a little bit. So got a big box of dies here, and a clamp sort of just holding it flat against the workbench. So we'll let it set 24 hours. No, just because it seems to be everything I say, you know, after I glue it. Oh, see you tomorrow. So let's hope that it, you know what I mean, sets properly, and then we'll put the ribs back on it, man, and we'll reassemble our getter friend. So I'll see you in 24 hours. 1, 2. All right, so it's well over 24 hours. Let's get this guy unclamped. All right, so we have it back. It's like not, you know what I'm saying, before it was like flapping open like a, you know, bankrupt fucking stripper's twat in a room full of, like, you know what I'm saying, hungry sailors. So unfortunately on this side we got a little bit of like a grease stain, man. Get your head off my couch, you know what I'm saying? This stain comes from, you know what I mean, us wiping up that glue. That glue's got like a, you know, it dries clear, so it's got some kind of oil based bullshit in it. So what we're gonna do is take some of this high test alcohol, right? And we're gonna put them on a
Put them on a pair of shorts and just try to get a little of that grease off there, Noriega. So you look presentable. Look like you rubbed a chalupa in your hair. You filthy freak. I'll see you after we've been alcoholed up. If you're all liquored up, boy, 91 percentile, that's almost like Everclear.
There we go, man. A little better. You know what I mean? A little bit better. Took a little sandpaper to it and just try to get all roughed up looking again. Yeah. I didn't even notice it's just my crazy ass. So let's take these motherfuckers over to the scroll saw and cut them down to size, right? And then we'll glue them on one by one by one by one. Starting over here and down, man. I'll see you when number 1 has been glued on. Cut down to size. I'm gonna cut you right down to size, boy. Rib 1. Rib 2. 3 and 4. You see that, man? And I put 2 clamps on the old ones. You know what I'm saying, man? Looks good, man. So let's let this set. Let's let this dry. You know what I'm saying? We can do it all together because we have enough clamps, right? Then we'll put it back together. And life will be a breeze. Life would be a breeze, sweetheart. Shalom, shalom. Alright, so it's been like, I don't know, 10 hours. Almost totally dry. But still a little bit wet inside the inside part. And you see how we tape these guys on? We put like a little bit of masking tape underneath all the little clamps on the back because we don't want to, you know what I mean, scuff anything up, man. We try to keep it nice for the people. So we're going to want to unclamp it right now and try to like actually clamp it on the guitar and glue it on the guitar while this is still a little wet. Why? Why, you might ask? Why would I do something like that? You know what I'm saying? While it's still wet? Well, if we wait till it dries and it isn't, you know what I mean, it's totally stiff, isn't as pliable, we might re-crack this, re-crack something else, crack something else. But now the glue's still a little pliable. It's kind of a little bendy a little bit. It's got a little give inside, deep inside, right? So we're going to unclamp this guy and try to fit it on the other part of the guitar, and I'll see if that pernt, right? Don't pernt at me, man. I'm innocent. So that's always the most sort of half-ass shit you can do, man. But eventually, you know what I mean, you'll get it perfect. Just keep messing with it. It'll take, you know what I mean, maybe 25 minutes, half hour. Sometimes to get it perfect, where there's not like a little piece sticking out. And working them pipe grips sometimes, man. Weights, 10-pound weights, 3-pound weights, something like that, 2-pound weights, whatever that is. Let's let it set overnight. I'll see you at third point. Alright, so it's been a good, I don't know, 14, 15 hours. Right? It's been a long time. Let's undo this monstrosity and see what happened, man. Right? 1, 2. Looks alright for the most part, man. Looks alright for the most part. So, that'll do. You know what I mean? I have no other option right now. You know, we're not going to crack it back open. Let's clean this fucking thing off with some furniture polish, man. This is 13.3% kielbasa grease. This is imported from the hills of Bavaria, man. The finest fucking kielbasa grease there is, man. Let's clean this fucking thing good, man. Let's clean it good and bad, man. Let's get every nook and cranny. Look at that, man. Doesn't that look real? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't that look real? Doesn't that look real to you? Ready? Clean. 2, 3. Oh, so it's clean now. You know what I mean? It's clean now, Tommy. Not like super sheeny shony, but I mean, we weren't really expecting that, were we? So this is a fucking mess, man. There's a lot of playing going on. Let's take these two guys here and just sort of run them over this part, just darken it up. We don't make it perfect. Make it a little bit less noticeable. It's in a minute. Just dialed it back a little bit. I mean, if you're back here, it's not really too apparent. Hey, man, what are you talking about my parents for, man? So, look at this, man. This is all rotted out. I mean, the frets are all nasty. So let's take this old fret file that we made, fret sander, whatever you want to call it, man, and just get these guys nice and level and gleaming, right? Ready? Yes, now the frets are all nice. All even and level and beautiful. So let's grease this old girl up. It needs a little bit of grease, man. It needs to be regulated. Put lemon oil everywhere except for the fretboard. Fretboard, we're going to apply some mineral oil, man. We want mineral oil on the fretboard. Right? From Shop Wrong. An old Wilbert from the 1970s, man. Everywhere else, man. Everywhere else. We're going to get y'all greased up there. Don't worry, Bess. Yes. Now we're all darkened and affected by the grease. Look at that. It's like a different guitar. You know what I'm saying? Just hungry, hungry hippo, man. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyways, we'll let this dry. I don't know. 45 minutes, an hour at least. And after it's sort of dried, then we're going to coat everything with some Mom's cleaner wax, man. Everything, right? It's going to make it super sheeny, super shiny, and super strong. You know what I'm saying? Everything works together. See it after we've been all wagged up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The original finish is finally popped again, you know what I mean? It's real hard. I need to put 3 coats on the front. The back, I only put like 2 coats on, but I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? The sides and everything. This finish was fucking beat like a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Beat like a fucking dog. That spent half his life just covering up now. Right? So, let's talk. Let's talk about this, man. Now, this is a set of Waverly bells. You know what I'm saying? This particular instrument right here has, you know what I mean, exactly what should have been on there. So I want you to see what should have been on there. These are kind of expensive. You know what I'm saying? I have a set actually in the drawer of them. But I'm not going to use them on this because, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll find something nicer. This is like swap meet swill, if you will. So for swap meet swill, I'll give you these. You know what I'm saying? Never really want to put like too fancy jazzy stuff on swill. Hey, open up, you swine. And usually with these guys, what I would do, I shake the shit out of them until they came out of the package, right? Because I would change the screws out to be all slot-headed, like those other ones. Hey, yes, slot-head, right? But look, let's face it, these are repros, and everyone knows. Everyone knows they're repros, right? But they look nice, you know what I'm saying? So we're not even going to bother switching anything out. And people are going to, you know what I mean? They're going to laugh at you anyway. But we don't have to really drill any holes. I think I can line everything up. So use the screws it came with. You know what I'm saying, man? No big. No big. Right? People know that we switched out the tuners. And that's okay. That's for you to discuss with your therapist. I see when these are all screwed in. Alright, so we're not fooling anybody. But more importantly, we're not trying to fool anybody. And you know what I'm saying? They work. And they work well. So let's move on down the line and talk about a piece. It's kind of like a time capsule. Because we see where it was. And now it's not. And it's like a ghost, man. We can see the original shading of the instrument. Now that we shined up the old, you know, lacquer that still exists, man. It's so interesting to sort of see this little time capsule. Now, this is called the Harmony double hardtail piece. It came out like after the Second World War. There was like a cheapy version that had like just 2, you know, screws here. But the Harmony one always has like the triangle one. So, I mean, there's 2 different versions. There's like a Japanese one that kind of looks exactly the same. And then the Harmony one with the 3 screws. So you know, man. Just so you are informed. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep everybody informed. Now, back in the day, these were dime a dozen. You get it for like $7-8 off of eBay in the old-fashioned days. New old stock. They were everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They're everywhere, William. I couldn't just close my eyes and I'll see one right there. But now they're kind of rare. I saw one on eBay actually for $55. Like, what the flying fucks? No way, man. No way, man. That's not even worth it. But I saw a reverb, you know, and I keep my eye out, man. And like, you know, every now and then I would look for one. And reverb, I saw 2 new old stock for $17. Free shipping. So with tax, it's like 18 and change, something like that, delivered, man. Under $10 a piece, man. Just like the olden days, William. Look at that. It's got all the original screws and everything ready to rock and roll. And it's cool because there's 2 of them. We're going to need one next time we meet, too, because we're doing the same instrument. Only it's a little bit more fucked up than this one. But it still needs one, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't want to discriminate against anybody because of their needs and their fucked up abilities. Let's put one of these guys on here, man. And we might need to, you know, go over with a little bit of Steel World. You know what I'm saying? Make it nice for the people. You know, spare no expense for this fucking piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll see when you're assembled. Hey, film me, motherfucker. For this instrument versus the one for next month, if I have 2 or something, I'm always put the nicer one on this one because it's like the first one. It's got that, you know what I'm saying, thing going up there, the original Silvertone logo. And it's the one that's going to end up in better condition. So, stem to stern, man. What's this, man? What does that do? Well, that's a new old stock plastic one from the 50s. And I bought a whole bunch of these. I don't know, like 2016, 17 or something like that. Like maybe 40 of them, you know what I'm saying? Like new old stocks. And I sold like maybe 30 of them, something like that during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why'd I do that? I sold so much stuff. I thought maybe it was the end of the world. Shit was like worthless to me. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk turkey about this little space, man. Little parking space, man. What's going on with that shit? Well, I actually have 2 of these in my drawer. You know what I'm saying? I found them. I was like, oh, I use this one for this month, this one for next month. And then I was like looking around at those ribs that I had left over, and I saw the ribs. I was like, I like measured it up. I was like, I started making all kinds of weird noises, and everyone was like, "You all right, man?" And then they called the loony bin. They took me away, and a couple days later, when I came back, I was like, right? It's like, I think I can, you know what I mean? I think I can do a little project here, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? So I got all excited about, you know what I mean? I'll show you. Because I know you're all intrigued now. Ready? Alright, but I have not just 1, but 2. This is like a new old stock. This is like a, hey man, we've been jamming out. You know what I'm saying? Either one of these would work. You know what I'm saying? And actually next month we're going to need one just like this. So I'm kind of set, right? You know what I mean? I want to make it hard for myself, man. I like to make it hard on myself. This is a rib from back when we were doing our Regal Beagle times, man. Nice thick rib. It's about the size. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to cut on the scroll saw here. Add a couple of these, man. Take it over to the sander. And I'll show you then. You know what I mean? Right after we're done with this, I'll show you. And then I'll show you down at the sander. See you then, son. And there it is. A little bit of scroll saw. A little bit of Dremel. A little bit of sanding station, right? A little bit of elbow grease. Is it 1,000% perfect? No. Is it good enough? Yep. So let's cut these little string grooves. See those little string grooves in here? Let's cut them exactly where they need to be. And I'll see you outside and finish the other one up. We'll paint them together. Right? So there we go. We cut 2 of them because we're going to need one for our next show. Right? We cut the slots in them. They look good. So now it's time to paint them, right? We have with us from Mr. Lacure. Right? But with these guys, actually the bottoms were finished too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip them like this. Right? We're going to paint the bottom real quick. I'll see it that part. Alright, so we're all dry in the bottom. We're just going to flip these over. Right, and we're going to do the top side. See how we moved it away from the puddle? As soon as we, when we painted it, that's the way to go, man, so it doesn't stick to the wood. You know what I'm saying? Just carefully move it away. See you in a second. And there we go. Again, drag it away from the puddle. Nobody wants to sleep in the wet spot, right? Let's let it bake out here in the nice bright autumn sun.
I'll see you downstairs when they're all done. We'll return to our guitar project. There we go, man. Baked nice and hard, right? But they're a little too over shiny, too little over sheeny, you know what I'm saying? This is something that's like grabbing somebody's attention. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We just need them to be like painted, you know what I mean? Not too sheeny, not too shiny. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a piece of steel wool and just knock this shine down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Knock it down to a satin. And then we're gonna look at both of them, and whichever one looks nicer, we're gonna select that one, because this installment, we're working on the earlier one, the nicer one, the one we want to put the nicest stuff on. So let's de-shine them. I'll pick the nicest one, and I'll see you then. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. There you go, man. We got the shine knocked off. The thing looks fucking gorgeous. It's perfect, man. Right where it belongs, man. Get back to where you once belong. So we got one more thing left. Hey, I don't see nothing else, man. Hey, man, you gotta remember your nut, man. What? So if we study our nut correctly, man, we take a look at a nut, a comparative, you know what I'm saying, what we should have on there. It's like a 45 millimeter, like, block. I actually have a big bone block, man. It's about the same. I mean, it's a little fatter, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, we can cut it down, and, it's the same height anyway. You know what I'm saying? So we cut it down, we cut the ridges in there, and all that stuff, man. Because it's like too long, you know what I'm saying? It's a little too wide, blah, blah, blah. But in my Joe, I happen to have a whole bunch of these, bleached and unbleached 45 or 44. This is a 45. And it's already, I mean, it's not too square, but it's not, you know what I mean, ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's not ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? It looks great. You just got to clamp that on there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like a perfect thing, man. It's even a perfect height. It's even the perfect height. Right? And then we'll be ready to watch Ed Sullivan while we eat, right? So let me clamp this on. I'll see it. That burnt. Mm-hmm. 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 So it's ready, man. So what are we going to put on these, man? I'm going to put a set of rainbows on these. Rainbows have like a great treble response. And I got, you know what I mean, like a set of like maybe 10 of these for like a ridiculously cheap price. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And I used like 2 of them or something. I got so many of them. So they have a really great treble response, and I got a lot of them. So I don't really use them that often. So I'll use them for this month and next month. You know what I'm saying? It's like the control. See if there's any difference in the sound, man. Inside there, man. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really, you know what I'm saying? I'm really proud of that whole thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's great, man. I'll see you at the glamour shots, man. I don't want to give you too much, man. I want to give you too much. I'll see you then. There it is, man. I'm going to go as far as to say this is probably one of the finest 929 type instruments I've played, man. It really is a solid instrument, and there's great treble response with these rainbow head strings, you know what I mean? It feels nice and broken in, it's comfortable. The action is complete butter, man. Show you that, man. Look at that. It's just fucking gorgeous, man. The neck is like straight as an arrow. All the frets line up. There's no weird funky notes. You know what I mean? When you minimize that play where you can still see it, but it looks like it's still like dirty. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying? It looks great. I'm very proud of this one right here, guys. You know what I'm saying? I think if we fell back in harmony the right way, man. I hope the next time when we get to one that's even more fucked up from the 60s, you know what I mean? We have equal, you know what I'm saying? Equal amount of happiness in the result. The nut is solid, man. You play this fucking thing, and it's good because it's like a RoboCop kind of, you know what I mean? 929 Harmony special, because it's like back from the dead. It's like these are new. That's usually something that's all fucked up. The nut is brand new. It's real smooth. That's usually something that's all fucked up. The bridges, all the grooves are all smooth. You know what I mean? That's usually something that's fucked up. You know, all the braces are real solid. You know what I'm saying? They use those diseased cows to make those hide glues in Chicago, man. It's just not really good, man.
It's that brown stuff, man. And brown don't stay in town, man. Brown will always let you down, man. With a fucking big fat frown. You know what I'm saying? Turn out the flash. I want you to see the natural lighting on this fucking old girl, man. I was a nudist for several years, man. You know what I mean? And then I realized, man, I just wasn't having no clothes, man. So I sold them for some rock, man. That's that, man. Right? Let's hear it. Don't you want to hear it? Let's hear it with the rainbow strings, right? Rainbow strings, right? And then we can judge it together, right? And we're going to hear it. 1. Peace be with you. 2. Look after yourself. 3. Peace be with you. Always. And there it is, man. That's the Silvertone 605. Made by our harmonious friends in Chicago that we've fallen back in love with, man. Falling in love again. Hey, man. It's just a gorgeous instrument, man. Every now and then you'll find a piece of squat Meet Swill that's all flapping around, pieces falling off. You know what I mean? Destined for forgotten town, man. And you put it back together and it becomes like a magical fucking magical instrument. Usually you see a guitar, it's all fucked up and it's got all that kind of playware up here like this one did that we kind of minimalized. You know at one point that was a great instrument because there was some motherfucker that was jamming the fuck out on this, you know what I mean, hard for a long time, you know. Why would they do it on a guitar that wasn't really that good? So it's good again, man. It's better than good. It's gooder. It's in the gutter, man. Hey, man. I love this instrument. I really do. I hope the next one turns out to be just as good, man. Josie's on a vacation far away. Come on and talk it over. So many things that I want to say. You know I like numbers a little bit older. I don't want to lose your love tonight. I just want to lose your love tonight. I don't want to get a strike on copyright. That's why I make it a little bit slower. Peace be with you all, man. Fall back, harmony, man. Be harmonious, be peaceful with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it together. KIT, man. We're almost there, man. Almost there.